When it comes to setting spending limits, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all the tools, tips, and advice out there. But what if I told you that setting spending limits could actually be simple, and that you don't have to overthink it? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how I set spending limits without feeling stressed or bogged down by the process. Stick around, because I'll also share something crucial about this system that you won't find anywhere else. First off, let's talk about the common trap people fall into when setting spending limits: overcomplicating things. I've done it myself in the past. You start by thinking, okay, I should track every expense, plan every category, and set precise amounts for each one. But that's where it all falls apart. The more detailed you get, the harder it is to stick to. So here's what works for me. Instead of focusing on every little category, I focus on a few key areas that really impact my budget. I use the 80-20 rule. 80% of my spending comes from just 20% of my categories. For me, it's rent, groceries, and entertainment. I look at my biggest expenses and set those limits first. If I can stay within those limits, the rest usually falls into place. Another thing I've learned over time is that setting flexible limits actually works better than rigid ones. Instead of saying, I can only spend $50 on entertainment this month, I look at the overall picture. If I go over in one area, I make up for it in another. So if I overspend on groceries one week, I might tighten the belt on entertainment the next. It's about balance, not perfection. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't it risky to leave some flexibility in the budget? Well, the truth is, I've found it to be one of the most effective ways to avoid the feeling of deprivation. When I was first starting out, I used to set extremely tight limits, and it always led to burnout. The moment I gave myself some breathing room and allowed for some give and take, I started seeing a huge difference in how easily I stuck to my budget. Here's the trick. Use simple categories to track your spending. Forget about tracking every cup of coffee or snack. Just focus on the big-ticket items. Once you've set the limits for those, let yourself relax with the smaller things. Your brain will thank you for it. The key is simplicity. And now, I'll share the part that most people miss, the big mistake that can wreck your spending limits without you even realizing it. It's not having a system to check in with your limits throughout the month. Without that, it's so easy to slip up. And before you know it, you're back to where you started, out of control. I check my spending once a week, but I don't make it a big deal. I simply open my bank app, glance at how much I've spent, and see if I'm on track. If I'm off, I make small adjustments. This weekly check-in is key to staying on top of things. It's a simple habit that keeps me accountable without overwhelming me. If you can get this weekly check-in habit down, it's a game changer. You won't be blind to your spending, and you won't be stuck in a cycle of overthinking every decision. Finally, let me share a tip that's a little different from what you've probably seen elsewhere. Stop obsessing over the small stuff. Many videos out there will tell you that you have to track every cent to be successful. But here's the reality. You're better off focusing on the bigger picture and then adjusting the details as you go along. To wrap things up, setting spending limits doesn't have to be hard. Keep it simple, use flexible limits, check in regularly, and most importantly, make sure you're not obsessing over every tiny detail. If you take these steps, you'll find yourself staying within your limits without feeling like you're constantly battling your own budget. If this video helped, please consider subscribing. I'm committed to bringing you content that's 100% value-driven, with no hidden affiliate links or commissions. Just real, honest advice.